Good morning, Emily. How are you today?
I am doing amazing. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited that we were able to connect online, meet in person, and then learn more about you and your journey, and then have you on the show because what you do is quite incredible. You've built a really amazing business. So, both on the just mentorship side of what you've done and how you grow is just so inspiring. And then on the side where you're helping your clients every single day as well is so equally inspiring. So, let's dive into it. I'd love for you to kick it off with sharing with our audience a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do.
Yeah, thank you. So, like you, I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I live in Arlington. I actually lived in Bellingham for about a year, but that is it. Otherwise, only Arlington. Um, don't go far. Um, I have a weight loss and wellness business. So we have six physical locations here in the Pacific Northwest, and one is actually in Bellingham. And then they span down through South Snohomish County, so a little bit north Washington. And at the locations, what we do is there are health coaches at all of them. And we see clients who want to lose weight and get healthy, but more specifically, um, really want to stop the yo yo dieting and get true and maintainable weight loss. So, our average client, we definitely see men, but we see many more women. She's about 40, 50, 60, and has about 50 or more pounds to lose. So, a little bit more if their BMI, if we were looking at that on the obese side. But it is an excellent program that we offer that the clients are losing weight every week and they have that coach there, which is really the differentiator to do it because so many people have done these yo-yos all the time. They're just ruining their
Mhm.
metabolism. So they can come to us and actually get true long lasting weight loss and health because we're seeing so many people coming in type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, all the comorbidities, you name it. And they're actually able to get off many of those medications, lead a healthier life. It's just fantastic. And then the beginning of 2020, we launched a second business, and that is the actual weight loss program and food products that we offer in our six locations, and it's called ShiftSetGo. And we offer that to other wellness, physician, health coach type offices throughout the United States.
Amazing. So you approached it from all angles. You really saw okay, a lot of people aren't able to be successful on their own. Where is all of the downfall places, accountability, the actual food and nutrition that they're taking in, and then the education and knowledge around it, and just their approach overall.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
sounds so incredible.
Yeah, because
How did
it's more than just motivation, right?
Mhm.
We've heard 1 million times, eat less, move more. That is the worst saying that you could possibly tell somebody trying to. Of course, if you're eating 5,000 calories a day, we might want to cut that back a little bit,
Sure.
but it's more quality over quantity. And there's an actual science of how our bodies lose fat. And when people yo-yo diet, they cut the calories, they're losing their lean tissue, so their muscle and fat, which is taking their metabolism down a notch, down a notch, down a notch. And every time they do that, that yo yo, they regain fat, right? We're not going to regain muscle unless we're out there really trying. So if you lost the 20 pounds, you lost some muscle, gain it back, all fat. Body fat percent
Mm.
is now higher. You do it again and again and again, and it chips away at your metabolism working the way it should. So the good news is there is a solution for that if you do it the right way, which is why we provide so much education at our clinic so that clients can then go out there in maintenance where we still provide coaching because that is crucial, but they can
Mhm.
actually maintain their new weight with all whole foods very, very easily because they now know how their body reacts to things and they now know how important it is to preserve that lean mass and to keep their metabolism functioning as it should.
Mhm. How did you find yourself on this journey? Where did this begin for you to branch into this world?
Yeah. Well, probably like anybody that starts their business out of a desire for my own self, right? So I've done this since 2011. At the time, I had two little kids, and was trying to lose what we all call the baby weight for
Mhm.
however many years after.
Right.
2, 3, 4, 5 years, still baby weight.
Yeah,
So I had
14.
about,
Yeah.
yeah, I had about, well, I thought maybe 10 pounds that I really wanted to lose. And I was trying all summer long to cut calories. I remember eating cottage cheese, which today I think sounds so gross, but this low cal, good protein. I didn't know anything about macros. I was just doing what they said: eat less, move more. I was actually teaching trampoline aerobics 5, 6, 7
Awesome.
times a week,
Oh my
which is
gosh,
fun,
awesome.
but you're not going to lose all this weight. And finally I realized, okay, this isn't working. Figured out the actual science behind it and how our bodies actually burn fat, changed up what I was eating, and within about 5 weeks I lost about 20 pounds. So it was
Wow.
just whoosh. So it wasn't a matter of, oh, I'm different, my body can't lose weight. No, it's because you're approaching it in a way that your body doesn't like. It doesn't like eating less and moving more. You're putting it into starvation mode. But when you actually give it what it needs and what it needs to burn fat for fuel, it's it's nonstop. You'll lose until you want to turn it off.
Yeah. So you found the solution for yourself, and then a lot of people kind of stopped there, but then you
Mhm.
chose to like help other people, which is so amazing. So then talk us through how you took this concept that you figured out and then started to scale it into a viable, successful business.
Mhm. I always knew I would own a business, probably more as a younger child, teenager, thought maybe a fashion boutique or something. So when this was happening, I was in my early 20s, and I had a steady job. It was great for having the kids, maternity leave, and kind of getting through all that. But I knew I wanted to start a business, and my parents are entrepreneurs. My grandparents, I'm actually a third generation entrepreneur. So it was
Awesome.
in my genes to do this. There wasn't ever much fear around it. I know that can stop a lot of new businesses,
Mhm.
kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So when this kind of all came together, I thought, okay, this is it. So it was something that I could put together, have a coaching program, something that people are looking for, because who's not, for the most part, 70% of America's overweight, who's not looking
Mhm.
for
Right.
sustainable weight
Mhm.
loss. Um, so it kind of naturally fell into place, and then I completely quit the full-time job I had and went all in about a year and a half later. So like I said, I didn't have a lot of fear to do it, but at the same time wanted to do it responsibly, had little kids,
Mhm.
make sure that this is a viable business. And so that was early 2013. And then by 2016, actually 15, started bringing on more help, realizing I can't do this all by myself. So there was quite a while there. And looking back, if I knew I'd be where I am now, then I would have hired right away, done the locations I wanted, just gone
Yeah.
all in. But
Mhm.
hindsight. And then 2018 is when we really started to scale and opened all the other locations.
Excellent. And so how many locations would you say that you when you say opened all the others, were they just kind of all at
Yeah,
once?
it was 3 in 3 months. I don't recommend.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, tell us about that. Let's I would love to hear about your learning moments there. So,
Yeah.
was it just different opportunities that kind of came up, or was it
It
just
was,
yeah,
yeah.
so talk us through kind of how that came to be.
So 2016, we added the second location, and so things are rocking and rolling. And my original location had then been moved into. Now we know our exact, copy paste. I could do this a
Yeah.
hundred more times. And in the nice strip mall next to the Starbucks, the AT&T, that type of zone is for us. So had two like that in 2016, and then decided on another geographical location, in my county. Okay, this is going to be great. So started the process of that. And with construction, it's going to be this day and then that.
Oh.
So two other opportunities came up. One was Bellingham and the other was Paulsbo, which, for anyone that knows this area, those are all very far apart. So, it's not like you're managing three locations within a 10-mile radius.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, it was just kind of opportunity met with the right time. But at the time it was only me running the business. My husband does it full time with me now, but he was working his full time job. So this was all in the spring of 2018. He maxed out his vacation. He actually took a unpaid leave because you could do this full time with me, and I needed his help to set them all up. So on
Yeah.
vacation time, and then he actually left his job in the fall of 2018. So after we did all that, 'cause now I had 5 locations.
Yeah.
Now we have 6, but like there's a lot going on. They have tech, they have
Mhm.
this. And so luckily he joined me. But, looking back, I don't necessarily regret doing any of it, but I could see now that I've evolved more as a person, as a business owner, kind of up leveled more, that not a lot of that, but a location or two was a little bit ego thinking, okay, then we'll have 4 locations, 5, 6, 7, let's go, go, go. But
Sure.
now, especially after 2020, taking a step back, realizing that that doesn't have to be the way that you do business,
Mhm.
and reacting more on logic and
Yeah.
looking at the P&Ls to make decisions, and
Mhm.
different factors in the business. So in the past few years now, probably 2 years, taking the ego out of it. It's still a challenge sometimes, but
Sure. Yeah.
to do better things for, I have 25 employees or so. So they're all looking to me to make the best decision for
Mhm.
them as well. And a new location now really isn't for us the way to go. So we have 6 now. We'll keep it at that. Old me would have said ego, let's do 10, 20, 30. But 2020 changed a lot of that as well. We
Yeah.
can be virtual now. So
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
not?
Right. Do you ever feel you mentioned 25 employees, 6 locations, you and your husband work together. So that is like truly the definition of all in.
Yeah.
And for those that are on their journeys, right, that our listeners are not quite there yet. And as you kind of mentioned, like the entrepreneurial spirit is like in your blood. It's been like passed down essentially for 3 generations, which is amazing. Does the pressure of all of what you have going on ever get to you? Or do you still have how, I guess, do you ever feel like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do it? Or have you found like a pretty sweet spot in business? Do you ever feel the pressure, like waking up out of bed, stressed out?
hmm
Yeah.
I didn't for a long time because we did it in such stages. We had 1,
Mhm.
then 2, yes, 3 at a time. That was a little crazy, but knowing, here's what the expenses will be, here's what the projected income should be, like this should
Sure.
be
Mhm.
fine. A little bit when my husband left his job, I was the one encouraging it. And so, okay, now we're insurance on our own and this and that and all the things people
Mhm.
worry about, which is, I laugh now when I hear people say, oh, but so and so has insurance. Who cares? Buy insurance. You're looking
Right.
at,
Right.
what's the saying,
Mhm.
stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. But it did all hit me when we had to close for COVID last year, and that was really hard. We've grown every year. I don't want to say running our business is easy. There's so many challenges, but we were in a really good groove. Based on at that time 9 years of looking at growing every year, I knew, yep, another employee, we can totally absorb that. Another one, we're going
Mhm.
to grow. Like the formula was there.
Mhm.
So when everything got, tossed into the blender, and what is it going to look like now? That was scary. And we have, 6 locations of rent to pay. We have 25 employees to pay. Luckily, we had some business savings. Um, and luckily, we were still able to bring in some revenue, but we physically closed our locations for about 6 weeks.
Right.
And so that was really hard. So that brought up a lot of fear, some tears. I don't think I'd ever cried over my business before, but that's scary to,
Yeah.
it's this employee going to be able to go home and buy their groceries. And I know it was
Mhm.
scary for all of us. So luckily there was so much, we have the best employees, so much caring and compassion. And they just knew that we know you're going to get us out of this. So whatever you
Yeah.
need from us, we'll do. They coached from home. We kept it going, but that was terrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, I
So
can
being
imagine.
on this side of it, growing the business again, knowing how important it is to have that savings, to do things responsibly. We cut some costs that we realized were unnecessary. But yeah, definitely the fear is still there. So no, I don't wake up at night anymore afraid, but last
Good.
year was
Mm-hmm.
very, very
Mm-hmm.
scary for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I can imagine. Thanks for sharing some of that. I know that that is so
Yeah.
helpful for others to hear the realness behind the journeys of successful people. So thank you for sharing that. I know that that's very
Hmm.
valuable for our listeners. Let's go back to the ins and outs of what you do every single day and how you help people. I'm really fascinated by some of the things that you've shared already. I then start to think about when you start talking about like looking at macros, all of these different kind of programs are out there for people creating what I feel like is just a bunch of mass confusion.
Yeah.
um, and there is one topic that you speak to about like the difference between nutritional ketosis and how that differs from ketosis programs that we see out there. That is
Hmm.
kind of a, the last couple of years has been more of a hot diet, if you will, or a
Yes.
trendy diet. So will you talk to us a little bit about that difference and then kind of share with us your thoughts on that and how you help people in that way?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's so much confusion out there, and people, whenever something is the fad, it was gluten free. I don't want to say that's a fad because definitely that's a thing,
Sure.
but
Mhm.
every product we're going to label gluten free, even though it's a bottle of water. There was never gluten in there. So
Right.
marketers are going to do anything they can to promote their thing. So keto just means ketosis, which is the state of burning fat for fuel. So people think they eat this product and they're now doing keto or their body is in keto. And it's actually something that needs to happen internally. I will tell clients sometimes it's like the bottle of wine says drunk on it. No, it's alcohol. If you drink too much, your body gets drunk. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
actually be doing everything in order to be in ketosis. But if you are following a keto program, it's typically going to be very high dietary fat. That's the people that I'm eating bacon and butter and all the things,
Hmm.
very, very low to no carbohydrates and pretty low, moderate protein. So those are your three macros: carbohydrates, protein, fat. Those three make up everything that you're going to eat. So that would be a high fat keto, a DIY keto, where you're doing it all with whole foods. But a lot of people will lose weight right away because their body will lose kind of the water weight called a diuresis, and the all the organs say, oh, okay, we're not filling back up with carbs because you stop eating them. So it'll release all that. So you see this instant 3, 4, 5,
Mm.
10 pound weight loss. You're all excited. Then you keep going a little bit. But most people, and we see a lot of clients that have tried DIY keto come to us and go, oh, wait, this is keto. That doesn't work for me. It's like, no, high fat keto probably didn't work because then you're eating too much fat that you're not burning your body fat
Sure.
on a diet like that. So they'll plateau out and then get frustrated, give up on to the next fad diet. So what our program is actually nutritional ketosis, where your body is still going into ketosis, keto, but you're burning your body fat for fuel. So yes, we're cutting down the carbs and sugars, but we're also not doing super high dietary fat, so that an adequate protein, so not super high muscle builder level that's going to be dangerous for your organs or anything, but enough to preserve that muscle mass because we don't want to lose that because we need it for our
Hmm.
metabolism, but low enough fat so that our body can burn its body fat. And yeah, every now and then we'll see a plateau, but it might be a week. But it's usually not a plateau. It's something happened, which is why the coaching is so crucial. Clients do a food journal, go through it with their coach. They can fix it right away and on to the next week. And they're losing body fat every single week, which we test with our scales that we have at the clinics. And people just do phenomenal on the nutritional ketosis. So if they've done high fat keto before, I would definitely recommend giving this a try. It's really something you have to do. Like we have specialty foods that you do it with because it would be next to impossible to do it with all whole foods.
Hmm. And why is that?
They're not going to have the right macros. You're going to end up eating too much fat, usually, or you're going to be getting way too much protein for the amount
Hmm.
of calories and fat and everything else that you're going to have in your day. So Our food is very specifically formulated to be that lower fat, have that adequate protein, and to be lower carbohydrate, low sugar.
Got it. And then once
Yeah.
they are kind of achieve the right, if you're helping people lose 50 plus pounds, then the
hmm
coaching transitions to help them maintain with whole foods.
Yes. Yeah. So we start the program with our foods plus some whole foods. So they
Mhm.
are eating some lean protein and vegetables. And so they're starting to practice. Here's what some healthy recipes look like and make it very easy go-to recipes. For a female, 50 pounds, females do about 2 to 4 pounds a week on our program. Men do more, um, as always.
Yeah.
And so once they get where they're going, then we start to transition them out of our food back to whole foods while they're still being coached, educated. That's actually the most important time that they keep
Yeah.
coming in for the coaching.
Mhm.
And then we like to see them at least twice a month in that first year. We call it the balanced year to maintain their weight. It is so, so crucial. There is no magic bullet, magic pill. You could lose 50 pounds in 100 different ways. If you don't change your lifestyle, change your habits, that's why that coaching is so crucial. You will gain it back. I can guarantee that.
Yeah. So it is truly
Not
a
all,
very,
more.
yeah. So you have, I mean, really created, like really thought through everything and created such a sustainable way to help people along and just educate them and really make sure that
hmm
they are set up for success as opposed to the maybe some of the quicker programs out there. And I know that there have been programs that have worked for a lot of people, so I don't want to knock anything that where people have like found success.
hmm
And then people find themselves going back because it's like such a short-term thing. And so the mindset is not about necessarily the longevity. When they sign up for
hmm
some of these other programs, it's just the focus is on this is just for the next 6 weeks or 8 weeks. And then
Yes.
they lack the accountability, the coaching, the transition into the sustainable part, which is what you guys
Yes.
provide, which is so incredible. How do you know how many
hmm
clients you guys have helped serve in all of your time open? I didn't ask you this ahead of time. So
Yeah,
that's
got me on the spot, but I
yeah.
actually do approximately know because every month we update our website with how many pounds we've lost
Oh, awesome.
and
Yes.
our locations and how many clients we've served. So roughly, I think it's pushing 8,000 clients.
Wow.
And pounds, it's since we've been tracking, which has not been the whole 10 years, probably the last 4 or 5, pounds lost has been over 100,000.
Whoa.
And yeah, since we started tracking, when we started tracking, we did it intentionally because we do this program we created called A Pound for a Pound. And so we donate to the local food bank however many pounds that. So, for instance, our clinic in Bellingham, if it lost 5,000 pounds this month, this year, we would donate the equivalent in dollars to 5,000 pounds of food to that food bank. So that's why we started tracking years back. So it's been kind of a fun little thing to track and cross
Yeah.
over that 100,000 pound mark. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, that is a ton of weight. Like that's
Yeah.
insane. Congratulations. That is just really amazing. And I'm
Thank you.
sure all of your over 8,000 clients are singing everybody's praises because
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want to feel better and just also understand our bodies more and what actually fuels us as opposed to just kind of whatever our mindset has been around food growing up that could just be
hmm
for enjoyment, that could be as a stress relief, that could just be, there's so many different ways that we have a relationship with food. So really healing that is, I'm
Yeah.
sure, so transformative for people.
The coaches do a lot with we make a very clear line coaching versus counseling. So it is
Yeah.
not counseling, but we do see a lot of clients, especially if they are um, ranging into that morbidly obese category. We see a lot of people needing to lose well over 100 pounds. Um, there's a lot of stuff that goes
Mhm.
along with that. So we do have a lot of tools that we use. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a huge one, talking about triggers and what are those healthy responses versus this sabotaging responses, stress eating, emotional eating, discomfort, just all of those things. Because it's like you said earlier, it's not, oh, I'm just doing this for 6 weeks. No,
Mhm.
this has to be a transformational life change. It's so
Hmm.
cliche. This is for a lifetime, but it has to be, because the minute
Hmm.
we tell our clients, the minute you walk outside our door, look to your right, ahead of you, look to your left, sugar, fast food. I mean, it's literally
Right.
everywhere bombarding
Yeah.
you. So,
Hmm.
we have to get ahead of that in their mindset to be able to beat that.
Right. Yeah. So, for those that are listening that don't live in the area, that are really resonating with all the things that you're sharing and are really feeling pulled for, I really want to learn more. I want to get a handle on this. This sounds like such a better way and healthier way to do things than the stuff I've done in the past. You mentioned that you've transitioned some things online for virtual.
Mhm.
How do you help people that aren't physically in the area? Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, the silver lining of 2020
Yes.
is that we now have a virtual program. And so we have a few of our coaches that have transitioned to coaching virtually. So they can see clients anywhere in the United States, and they do it via Zoom, sometimes telephone call if they want to do it that way. But that face to face is so great. You just can't
Hmm.
really replace that. We have an app and we have a digital scale. So we send that all when they start the program so that they can be as connected as possible with their coach. And since we've been doing that now for about a year, we have had clients with phenomenal results. I was hesitant at first because that in person, that coaching visit is so crucial to our program, but our coaches are so amazing. They've been able to still make that personal connection. People are so used to Zoom now, it's fine. So they have their weekly appointment that way or by phone call, and it works so well. We ship them everything that they need, and they're able to do the program from anywhere.
Yeah. And then you also took that one step further a little bit as well, in not only do you help people on this journey, but like you, people that are so inspired and ready to help other people change their lives, you now have the ability for other people to come be coaches with you, and you have a program to transition them.
Yes. So when we went virtual, we said, okay, this would be really great to. We already had a coaching course, but just kind of fine tuned it for our whole onboarding and training. So now we have coaches that are not just in Washington, but they come on board with us to become virtual coaches again from anywhere in the United States, and then they can coach anybody. So they go through our certification program, and they can become a virtual coach for us. And so that's been a really fun, again, another silver lining of everything getting flipped upside down
Yeah.
last year.
It was just yesterday.
Seems like
Yeah.
yesterday, it still is today. So
How
yeah, they could do our
amazing.
virtual coach program.
Yeah, that's great. And just help empower people to empower people, which is
Yes,
just
yeah,
beautiful.
it's a
Yeah.
special type of person that wants to coach, and they don't have to have any health experience. They just really want to help people. So we've had, yes, nurses or physical trainers, people that maybe did health coaching, schools or certifications in the past, but we provide all the training and the certification. So even if you've had your own transformational journey to health, and it doesn't have to be that you lost a significant amount of weight, it could be that you realized, this food was causing anxiety for you, or
Mm,
anything like that, or you just really want to help people. It's such an amazing way to do it, and it is so rewarding. I don't coach anymore. I did, years ago, and it's just so cool. Someone literally said to me one day, "You saved my life." So
oh,
that's a
yeah.
pretty good
Yeah,
good feeling to hear.
absolutely. So you have these 6 locations. You guys now have virtual options. You're helping people all over the United States. Tell us what a day in the life of Emily looks like. Where do your kind of responsibilities lie? You have a family. You guys like to travel. Kind of share with us a little insight on a day in and day out.
Sure. And, it didn't really become like this until a few years ago. I did not understand. I was the CEO from day one. I didn't really understand what that meant. I thought that meant do all the things. So,
Mm,
and I
yeah,
think that is
as a
for a
lot of
lot of
people.
newer,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it means, oh, that means the buck stops with you. You have to do
Mm-hmm.
everything. Um, but in the last few years, and we actually were working from home pre-COVID. I do a lot of the finance. We do have a bookkeeper and a CPA and all that, but just kind of keep an eye on our KPIs every day that we're open. I take a peek at those. We do have a general manager, so she deals with all of the employees and any issues at the locations. Every day is so different. We have a marketing director, and he was in town last week, so it was a lot of meetings with the team with that. It's a lot of just keeping all the plates spinning, but
Mm-hmm.
now in a really fun way. If there's something now that I go, I despise doing this. These are things I don't like doing. Then we look to see who would be a better fit to do
Yeah.
that. I was at a conference about a month ago, and someone recommended Who, Not How, the book
Mm-hmm.
to me. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought, well, that's a really easy concept. And I read the book. It's a quick, easy read, but that is exactly what it is now. So saying, wait, I don't need to figure out how to do this and this and this.
Right.
I need somebody that's been there, done that, is better than me at this particular area. So who do I need to figure out all those hows? So
Yeah.
that has been crucial. I know that was only a month ago, but really realizing, that's what we need. So we've been up leveling it a bit with that. So now it's a lot of
Love.
just, check-ins with my management team. I definitely am the ideas person, the visionary. So thinking of what's next, letting them help me flush it out, not just
Yeah.
jumping in, doing 3 locations in 3 months.
Right. Oh, let's get some feedback. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Incredible. Thank you so much for your time today. This was so great to just share this conversation with our listeners and bring some education in and just share with them like how, things can be if they're really struggling with this area as of their life, as you mentioned, that a lot of Americans are. So
Hmm.
this is, and especially for women that are, a lot of our group of people, they're hustling, right? Like they
Hmm.
are putting in the hours, they're either building their own business or they're trying to move up in the ranks at their company. And so health is so important for us to be able to sustain all the other efforts that we're doing. So thanks for this
Hmm.
conversation today.
Yeah,
It was really
absolutely.
great. How can people connect with you from here? Where shall they go to find out more information and plug into what you have to offer?
Yeah, our website's probably the best place. It's idealwellness.com, and that's where you could learn more about being a coach. You could start the program virtually. You could find one of our locations here in the Pacific Northwest. If you are somebody that has some sort of a health wellness physician type office in the United States, you could go to ShiftSetGo.com. That's where you can find all the information about actually starting this in your own clinic to help your patients and clients. And then I'm online. I pretty much only use Instagram these days and not a ton, but it's just at Emily Countryman.
Excellent. Emily, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Bye.